Something very strange happened recently. A small, creator-funded horror film quietly appeared in theaters. There was no massive press tour and no late-night talk show circuit, not even a billion-dollar marketing machine. And yet, within just days it was outperforming studio-backed releases that cost tens, 20s, sometimes 100 times more. And it wasn't just outperforming them, it was beating them. It was beating them at the box office, on screens, and audience interest. And almost immediately after that, it started disappearing from industry lists. It wasn't on trending pages, not on top new releases carousels, not even studio highlighted roundups. It was just quietly absent. And this raises an uncomfortable question. What happens when a single creator proves that you don't actually need the system anymore? Hello everyone, my name is Falcon and welcome to What Am I Watching? I know I'm falling just a little off topic here from what I usually talk about, but I wanted to support Markiplier and what he started. To bring awareness to what can happen when you have a group of passionate people who want to make art, versus millions of dollars saying we want to make something to make millions of more dollars. Today I want to talk to you about how Markiplier and his group didn't just release a horror movie. They exposed something fragile about Hollywood, and why this moment may end up mattering far longer than most people realize. And I truly hope that it does. For decades now, Hollywood has sold and stood on one core idea. Movies are expensive, and therefore studios are necessary. The logic goes like this. Big budgets require big infrastructure, and big infrastructure requires even bigger studios. And big studios justify their power because no one else can compete. And here comes Iron Lung, quietly shattering that logic. Not because it's perfect, but because it exists at scale. A creator-funded project built largely outside of the traditional studio pipeline and driven by pre-existing audiences rather than market research. And it didn't collapse, it didn't vanish, and it didn't struggle to find viewers. No, my friends, it succeeded. That alone is destabilizing, because Hollywood's authority has never been about quality. It's been about gatekeeping access. And Iron Lung? Well, Iron Lung walked around the gate. People focus on the headline that reads, "Small movie beats big movie." But that's not the real threat. The real threat is this. Iron Lung didn't need Hollywood money for discovery or its creation. It arrived with an audience, word of mouth, moviegoers telling others to watch it, and more. Markiplier didn't have to convince people he was trustworthy. He didn't have to buy credibility, advertisements, or endorsement. He went about it his own way. Studios spend hundreds of millions of dollars trying to manufacture what creators are now building organically. Parasocial trust, audience loyalty, direct communication. When Markiplier says, "I made a movie," millions of people listen. Then those millions tell millions more. When a studio says, "Care about this franchise again," people just shrug. That power imbalance is new, and Hollywood has no real answer for it. For years, studios treated piracy as the enemy. Then it became streaming, then YouTube, then TikTok. But all those threats didn't depend on studio contract. Creators don't. Creators are becoming vertically integrated. They can write, fund, market, distribute, and promote inside the same ecosystem. No middleman, no distribution bottlenecks, no theatrical permission structure. No, Iron Lung didn't just succeed. It demonstrated a closed-loop creator economy. That's the nightmare that Hollywood is living right now. And audiences? Well, they're realizing it too. Realizing that good movies can be made, advertised, and distributed without the needs of tens, hundreds of millions of dollars. There's an interesting pattern whenever something challenges authority. It's rarely attacked head-on. Instead, it's minimalized, deprioritized, excluded from roundups. It's left out of promotional spaces. It's not banned, and it's not condemned. It's just quietly absent. Because outrage creates visibility. Silence suffocates it. And Iron Lung's sudden absence from certain industry-curated lists after it was seen outperforming movies backed by multi-billion-dollar industry machines, well, it's telling to say the least. Not because of conspiracy, but because of discomfort. Institutions don't like to legitimize threats. Acknowledging Iron Lung publicly would mean acknowledging that this model works. And once you admit that, you can't unadmit it. Studios are optimized for scale. Studios are optimized for money. They're not optimized for intimacy, or risk, or even a vision, not the art. Their production pipelines require focus groups, brand alignment, franchise synergy, and international marketing compatibility. And this slowly pushes aside personality. Creators work in the opposite direction. They build small teams, personal taste, niche appeal, strong voices, and passion. Iron Lung feels like it was birthed, not engineered. And audiences can feel that difference instantly. Hollywood keeps trying to solve audience disengagement with bigger budgets and more spectacle. But disengagement is not a spectacle problem. It's a sincerity problem. Iron Lung doesn't feel like a product. It feels like someone wanted to make something. That distinction matters more than studios want to admit. Someone made something. A group of people made something because they were passionate about it, not for the bottom line being money. It's tempting to label Iron Lung as an anomaly, a fluke, a lightning strike, but it hasn't happened in isolation. We're starting to see YouTubers funding videos, movies, games, streamers launching animated series, indie teams outperforming AAA studios, and crowd-funded projects crossing into mainstream space. Iron Lung is simply the cleanest example so far, and clean examples are dangerous, because they're easy to point out, hard to dismiss, and even harder to forget. Studios can copy surface-level aesthetics, but they can't copy community. They can't copy years of inside jokes, can't copy creator-audience relationships. They can't copy that sense of shared history. Markiplier didn't build an audience to sell a movie. He built an audience by making content. And this movie is just a side effect. Studios try to invert that. They build a product first, then try to fabricate attachment afterwards. Or by rehashing existing IPs, forgetting what made that IP so wonderful in the first place. That inversion, well, it rarely works. Iron Lung didn't start as an IP. It started as trust. And trust scales better than marketing. The real impact isn't that more YouTubers will make movies. It's that studios will slowly lose cultural certainty. Not overnight and not dramatically, but gradually. They'll still exist and they'll still make money, but they won't define the taste of entertainment the way that they once did. Culture will become fragmented, creator-led, niche-driven, personal, and passionate. Which is exactly how YouTube itself replaced television, not by killing it, but by making it irrelevant to younger generations. Iron Lung isn't killing Hollywood. It's doing something more powerful. It's making Hollywood unnecessary for certain types of art. Years from now, people won't be pointing at Iron Lung as the greatest movie ever made. They'll be pointing to it as one of the first widely visible proof-of-concept creator films. The moment when the wall cracked. It didn't shatter, it cracked. You see, big collapses, they don't start with explosions. They start with small structural failures. And Iron Lung? Well, Iron Lung is proving that it's a strong stress fracture. The scariest thing about Iron Lung isn't the ocean, and it isn't the monster. It's not the darkness. It's what the film represents outside the screen. A future where creators don't need permission, where audiences decide what matters, where passion competes directly with capital, and it wins. Not because passion is morally superior, but because people respond to it sincerely. Hollywood didn't really lose a battle. They lost control of an idea. And when an idea dies, everything built atop of it starts to tumble. I want to thank you all for making it this far into the video. If you have, it means that I'm doing something that you've enjoyed. It would mean the world to a small channel like mine if you would give a like, subscribe, or comment below. Markiplier, the team that made Iron Lung. Again, I want to give you all a shout out. A shout out for being passionate and making something that you wanted to make. You guys did it. You made something beautiful, and we're thoroughly enjoying it. As for everyone listening, I hope to see you in the next video. YouTube didn't kill television. It marketed it as irrelevant to younger generation. No, that makes it sound evil. YouTube, you're not evil. Don't demonetize me. And Iron Lung's sudden absence from certain industry-curated lists after it was outperforming movies backed by And Iron Lung's sudden absence from certain industry... I need a break. I really need a break. And a coffee. Oh, I could use a coffee. How about you? You use a coffee? You want coffee? Okay. Well, I'll drink yours too.